Warren Buffett's portfolio is always in news. The super investor has consistently beaten the market, and his portfolio provides deep lessons to other investors on where the market cycle is and where to invest in such conditions. So, do you want to know what the world's most famed investor holds? In this video, we bring you current updates on Warren Buffett's amazing portfolio. Warren Buffett is the most well-known investor, fondly referred to as the Oracle of Omaha. He is named an oracle because he has been consistently able to predict the future. With his long-term investment record of over 70 years, his portfolio has brought consistent outperformance over the S&P 500 index. Since profit rates around the world are rising, and there is fear of global recession, a look into this amazing portfolio is necessary. We will also learn how and why the 92-year-old investor is making some changes to adapt to the situation. Do you want to know this amazing portfolio and make yours resilient to the headwinds of 2023? Then hit the like and subscribe buttons and let's dive deep into the lessons of the book. Chapter 1. Who is Warren Buffett? First, let's get to know who Warren Buffett is. The most interesting thing about him that you can know is that between 1965 and 2021, he has been able to deliver a CAGR of 20.1% as against 10.5% by the S&P 500 index. That's almost double the index. In dollar terms, a single dollar invested with him in 1965 would be $36,416 on 1st January 2022. On the other hand, S&P 500 could turn the same dollar to only $302 in the same period. Double the CAGR over such long period means a difference of over 120 times in the final amount. So, what does Warren Buffett do? How does he invest? And where can you invest if you want to take part in his journey? Buffett is a value investor. He has made Berkshire Hathaway, initially an old textile mill, his investment vehicle. All of his investments are ultimately held under this name and traded as stocks on the New York Stock Exchange. He began his journey at the tender age of 11 years and started managing the public company Berkshire Hathaway at the age of 35. His college education came from the pioneer of value investing Benjamin Graham, who taught him the mantra of investing: price is what you pay, value is what you get. Buffett absorbed the value investing essentials from Graham to implement it more successfully than any other person. His investment strategy is basically to buy quality companies that are trading below their fair value, either due to some temporary underperformance or merely due to market cycles. He further enhanced value investing with the following motto: I would rather buy wonderful companies at a fair price than fair companies at a wonderful price. This is why he came to hold brilliant brands. He has held Coca-Cola and Dairy Queen, which are well-known consumer brands, for long periods. He started buying Coca-Cola in 1988 and has held his huge stake for 34 years. The Dairy Queen stake was a complete acquisition in 1997 and has contributed to Berkshire's profits greatly since. So, what alt stocks does Warren Buffett hold today? Does it hold the wonderful company mantra? Let's discuss this. But before that, if you're liking this video so far, drop a like and press the subscribe button for more such content. Chapter 2. Warren Buffett's amazing portfolio. So, what does Warren Buffett's amazing portfolio look like in 2022? It has definitely evolved in recent years with portfolio shifts. So, what are his top holdings after the Q2 filings of the 2022 year? Apple Inc. is the top holding with about 46% of the total portfolio. Apple Inc. $147 billion. Bank of America Corp. $35 billion. Coca-Cola $26 billion. Chevron Corp. $26 billion. American Express Co. $23 billion. Occidental Petroleum Corp. $12 billion. Kraft Heinz $12 billion. Moody's Corporation $7.6 billion. TSMC. Apple, Coca-Cola, and Heinz are all well-known consumer brands you would have heard about. Thus, Buffett's portfolio is very much aligned with holding big consumer brands and sectors that do well in high profit rate and the current environment of the Russia-Ukraine conflict, for example banks, financial services, and oil corporations. How Buffett has amassed such a large portfolio. Berkshire's core business segment is insurance, run primarily through GEICO, Berkshire Hathaway Reinsurance Group, and Berkshire Hathaway Primary Group. This business generates something called insurance float, the amount from premium pool which is invested in various instruments. Berkshire has used the excess cash thrown off from these and its other operations over the years to acquire and foray into other businesses, like Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railroad, Berkshire Hathaway Energy, and the firms that make up its manufacturing, service, and retailing operations, which include three of Berkshire's largest non-insurance pre-tax earnings generators: Precision Castparts, Lubrizol, and Clayton Homes. The conglomerate is unique in that it is run on a completely decentralized basis. So, before we move on to analyzing how the portfolio has changed in recent times, what would you prefer? Investing directly in a conglomerate like Berkshire Hathaway, or directly investing in consumer brands like Apple and Coca-Cola? Go type your answer in the comments. Chapter 3: Recent Changes in the Portfolio. Let's analyze how Buffett has positioned his portfolio in 2022 and braced for 2023. For his reference, the S&P 500 has shed 20% in the last year. The US and major economies of the world are facing headwinds and fears of recession. This is why central banks, including Indian RBI, have raised profit rates, which render the stock market underperform due to the flight of capital. Mr. Buffett, too, has been aware of the profit rate changes and has played with cash well to acquire stakes in our discussed stakes. What he has done past 4 to 5 such cycles over 40 years is patiently builds up a huge cash pile in bull runs and then use it to buy stocks at cheap valuations in bear periods. Earlier this year, Berkshire has been purchasing $40 billion worth of equities in Q1, while it spent $3.8 billion in stocks during the second quarter. Large stake acquisition in Occidental Petroleum, Citigroup Banking, and HP Inc., the laptop maker, as well as gaming company Activision Blizzard and oil giant Chevron. As listed, the energy position in Chevron and Occidental, with more than 10% of its invested assets, is opportune for rising profit rates as well as superior oil price realizations. Berkshire could add even more of Occidental Petroleum going forward due to this reason, as it has already got regulatory approval for doing so. Additionally, positions in financial services which are already significant have been bolstered with Citigroup's addition. On the insurance front, Berkshire Hathaway completed the $11.6 billion Allianz deal in October 2022. This further expands its core cash-generating insurance business. Very recently, he has made his foray into the semiconductor technology front with TSMC investment. No one would think that a 90-year-old grandpa is holding technology companies like Apple and TSMC, and gaming companies like Activision Blizzard. These changes balance resilient stocks with opportunities of buying growth stocks due to discount prices in 2022. Chapter 4: What can you learn? But as we understand, you must be a young person without billions or even thousands of dollars to invest. For some of you, the Indian market will be your target market, and even that will require some amount of investment philosophy to survive and grow. First lesson: start early. Buffett started early in his teens and has had a long period of 70 years to grow his money. Even though he started small, but at the 20% CAGR return rate, that amount turns into a multi-billion empire. Second lesson: be flexible and curious. Buffett did not possess the expertise in insurance to become the largest holder of an insurance business portfolio in the USA, but he learned and strived to push himself. Value investors call this the circle of competence, which is your area of understanding of various types of businesses. So, investing within that circle is most important to be successful, but at the same time, keep expanding the circle. Buffett did not prefer to invest in technology companies back in his prime of the 90s, and so he missed companies like Amazon, Apple, and Google. He has, through years of study, introduced this area into his circle, and now Apple is his largest holding, with new major additions like Activision Blizzard and TSMC from this area. Third and last lesson: value investing is for life. You will have to allocate assets carefully. Buffett says that he only buys stocks that he is confident to hold for more than 5 years. You should do the same and think long-term. This also means having a cash pile like him to buy extensively when low-price discount opportunities show up. Buying blue-chip stocks in 2020 due to the pandemic was ideal, as such a discount sale was available, and most of those blue chips have returned 50 to 100% returns in this 2 to 3 years period. So, these are the most grounded lessons to learn from the analysis of Warren Buffett's portfolio, how it has changed in recent times, and why he is doing what he has done. Bearing rising profit rates, US-China supply chain disruptions, and commodity price rise due to the Russia-Ukraine war is going to affect you in the year 2023. These lessons should help you in this process. So what do we know? What have we learned? Let's summarize. Warren Buffett is presumably the greatest investor on the planet. He started early and used the listed company Berkshire Hathaway as his holding company. Insurance and non-insurance businesses are two divisions where the insurance division generates float that is invested into new companies, both listed and unlisted. Holding consumer brands in both divisions like Geico and Coca-Cola has generated outperforming returns for Buffett. He has delivered double the returns of the S&P 500 index. His portfolio is currently comprised of big names like Apple, Bank of America, Coca-Cola, Chevron, American Express, and others. 3 sectors are his focus in the rising profit rate environment: technology, banking, financial services, and energy. These sectors balance growth with resilience. This 2022 orientation of Warren Buffett and the 70-year journey before it has created valuable lessons for investors like us. So start early, be a value investor, and improve your circle of competence to allocate assets successfully. If you forgot about the comment section, remember to type down your preference: investing in a conglomerate like Berkshire, or direct investment to become a Buffett yourself. Press the like button if you didn't, and subscribe to the channel for more such content. Do you want to know more about how money works and want to maximize your investment returns? Then visit this video to the Psychology of Money book summary.